everyone, welcome back to another episode. So, we've been doing some stuff around here and it's been a busy few days. Now, I think the last episode we left off on a note of the map. So I think what we'll do, let's go have a little look over there. So I'm kind of actually recording this pre-stream. Zoom Avoid's actually streaming right now, so I'm kind of in the middle of watching that, but I thought I'd get a quick recording in just so we can catch up on everything. Alright, so the reason why we're starting off over here at the map area is because, as you can see there, if you did notice from last time, the TNT blast chamber has changed a little bit. I've made some design choices on there, and I'm still kind of working on the feeder. So what I actually ended up doing, I'll show you that in a second actually, but I thought I'd just show you the quick map update. I made things look a little bit neater here because I wanted a good thumbnail for the last one, so you're getting a slightly nicer bit, but it is unfortunately a bit of a Homer meme where all the stuff is being held behind the back because there's not really too much else going on around it. To be honest with you, I don't know why I put stone here as well. I think I was just trying to be super quick with it, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest. It doesn't matter at all. Now, I did say to you at the end of the last episode, we're going to check out the progress that I did make, so let's head over, as you can already see. Alright, so what do you guys think? Now, on the last episode, what happened was I spent so much time building something that I absolutely hated. And I think I had spent too much time on the game. I spent too much time on building the blast chamber. I had lost too much interest in it. And I built something, it looked absolutely horrendous, and I tore it all down. I went to sleep. I woke up the next day and I said, you know what, let me take another crack at it and let me think about what I want to do. So let me go through some quick changes with you that you might and might not have noticed. In fact, let's do a quick fly in so you can have a good look around it. So I added like some skeleton designs to it, and when I mean skeleton, I just mean like skeleton, like added some depth of a body basically. So if you have a look, I've used lime terracotta around here. Now, I used lime terracotta. I was going to consider using lime concrete, but sometimes lime concrete really is a bit too much in your face. I really prefer the look of the lime terracotta, so I went with that instead. And as you can see here, I made a bunch of end rods on the inside of here. So it has a nice light up system. If you look at it through the build, you can see it looks really cool. I'm actually really happy with this now. It took me a long time just to do this. And if you're wondering what this little module over here is, so basically one of the pushers had to be outside of the blast chamber just because of how the pistons work. So I thought I'd give it a little, I don't know what you would call it, maybe a little, it was some sort of design, I guess. It was just whatever I felt like thrown together. It kind of went with the build of that, but still gave it its own identity. The one thing that I am currently working on, which I didn't want to show yet, but I can give you just a quick peek, I guess. Now, don't judge anything yet. I've not done anything that I'm not 100% happy with, but essentially what's going to happen, that's the blast chamber there. All the drops are going to come through from here, and I'll put a water raceway going down and then following through here. Ideally, what I'm going to do is have a bunch of item sorters, differentiating the different kinds of concrete, the cobblestone, and the different types of tree. And as for the design, I'm going for the blast chambers. For the storage. I'm thinking of a specific shulker design, but I'm not 100% sure yet. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave this area for now. I lost a little bit of inspiration doing this, mostly because, well, this area over here. This took so much time and resources. If you can see, it's quite a thick body for what you're gonna actually see inside now. I do really like this though. I do really like this. Let me give you a little peek. So it's gonna be the light up walkway. So as you walk on and in and out, you got the light up. I might change that though. I'm not sure, but I did just to give you a breakdown what happens. So I put in shulker boxes of concrete powder in there. They get God, those doors are loud, aren't they? They go through the system to end up at this dropper. So the dropper's gonna do. The dropper's going to supply me all of the concrete powder. The reason why this thing ended up being so big is because the way a shulker box works and the fact you always need at least two hopper inputs into a dropper to keep up with the amount of powder you're going to need when you're using this. So I went for three hoppers coming out of one shulker box. If you didn't see my last video, have a look at it because it kind of gives you a breakdown of how it works. But essentially, all that's going to happen in here, I'm going to get the empty shulker boxes that I fed into the system where all the concrete came out of. The concrete will pop out of here. And the thing that I really like about this system is not something you have to turn on and off. Just to show you the system, I'm going to do it really quickly. I don't want to do too much stuff. Not really feeling it. I'm not going to load a shulker box in there for now because I don't really have anything I need to do just yet. Now, here's all we do. We'll stand here. Wait, nope, we need it like, yeah. You can see I'm still getting the shulker boxes through. Sorry, the audio is so loud. In fact, let me turn down note blocks. No, just block sounds, right? Is that gonna make a difference? Yeah, that's better. All right, cool. So you can see that I'm getting it. It ran out of thingies, but you can see I don't need to do anything. I don't actually need to switch something on. I don't need to turn my TNT blast chamber on. All I do is start using it. Everything, it works in a specific automated system where when it's not in use, it's off. When it is in use, you can crack on. This specific thing is the reason why I don't need an on and off switch. I don't need a piston pushing things forward whenever it feels like, because it basically runs off of a detection system instead. Then a observer is looking at the piston, which is running a redstone into here. So actually, I can maybe show you a little bit. There you go. So you can see there's just a redstone signal running in from an observer that's coming out of there. And that goes straight into the dropper. And then that basically just powers the dropper for every concrete I place. It gives me one back. Super useful system. Am I done with this interior? Maybe. I'll be honest, I don't want to spend a huge amount of time in here because I spent so much time setting up this. It didn't really make any sense. So, and this door took a little while too. This whole walkway, it was a lot of mess. I think the next thing to do, maybe later on, I'm going to do in stream is just put. I'm going to set this room up, get the filters in, and then I think we'll be done with this area. I do still need to do the tree farm, which let's have a little look at it. I'm sure you guys have seen this like 1,000 times already in my last 3 videos. But I've started mapping out kind of a shape that I'm going to use. Nothing 100% yet. This is purely just me planning out what I want the shape to maybe look like. It may or may not stay this way. I don't know. I don't really want to focus my energy on that just yet. Let me show you some of the other stuff that I did as well. Alright, so this wasn't, a groundbreaking stuff that I did, but during yesterday I was going to do some recording, I was going to stream, I didn't really feel like doing anything, I felt really tired, it was my last day of the work week and it's been a long week. So what I did, just for a bit of fun, which you can see, I'm going to put the clips of me doing it in a second, but I did some mining for gravel, and I did some mining for sand. That's not the sand. It's these shulker boxes here. I'm going to need a bunch of concrete powder for what my future plans might be. So what I'm thinking eventually is that I'm going to maybe is cover the entire Mushroom Island, or at least the first layer of all the Mushroom Island, in concrete powder. Color to be decided. Haven't decided on the color just yet, but it's most likely going to be either black or light grey. That's what I'm thinking. If I want to be super wild, maybe I'll go for all lime. It's very unlikely I'm going to do that because it might just be a bit too in your face. May do splurts of lime in between black. I think that might look cool too. But yeah, I want to do a whole bunch of mining. Let me show you so I probably mentioned this in the clips I'm about to show you, but I like to mine a slightly different way. So I don't really go in with the old yield shovel. Yield shovel. I don't really bother with that. In fact, in an hour collectively, actually, it was kind of broken up by me being lazy and not being bothered half the time. So, in an hour, I got these 5 shulker boxes. 6 furthermore. 6 shulker boxes of gravel and 5 and a bit shulker boxes of sand in 1 hour. And honestly, it was using. Oh, and no, that was there before. Never mind. that was all using TNT. So for anyone who's not already aware, TNT is a great way to mine once you get it down. And when you consider, if you've got a good source of gunpowder, which I do, I've got maybe a couple sources of gunpowder. If you've got a good source of gunpowder and you're going to be harvesting sand anyway, you can make, I can't remember how many stacks of sand this was. It was not that many. It was a few stacks of sand with a few stacks of gunpowder, and I've used 2.5 stacks to get those 6 boxes of sand and gravel. So the return of interest is great, and within an hour to get that many shulker boxes of stuff, it's pretty good. The place that I did do it at though kind of got ruined pretty heavily. Bro, if I was you, I'd get out there. Like, right now. What an eyesore this place is. Now, obviously, I originally built this because I had no interest in being... I had no interest in what it looked like at the time. My main objective at the time was get as much iron as humanly possible. And I did that, to be honest. I got as much as humanly possible for me, at least. So where are we standing here? Oh yeah, this has been running again for a while. And I've also got all of this iron. I've got all of this iron. That should be all of it for now. And I got a bunch of bone meal. In fact, I want to take this because I want to go put it in my tree farm. I'm running super low there. Let me go do that. Still a fair amount of bone meal in here. We need to do a huge... Well, I was going to say an AFK session, but it probably isn't going to be AFK. I don't have enough bone meal for an AFK. It's going to be just a session, so I can get enough for the chest and the hoppers I need to get started on, because my famous words are, I kind of left this one behind and I've got to do this one. You're probably going to hear that quite a lot. Bear with me. When I get stuff done, I mean, in my opinion at least, it does end up looking cool. I usually need time to contextualize it in my head. And in this case, I haven't done that at all. I had an original plan, which I've kind of cancelled my thought on now. I was going to do super sorted item sorters with shulker box fillers and no. I don't, you need a lot of shulker box, shulker boxes or shulker shells, whatever. And I do have what is probably considered a fair amount, but the furthest from how much I'm going to actually end up needing. Skadoosh. This is actually my favorite place to just come and hang out sometimes for whatever reason. I like the drop. I like watching. Sometimes it's fun to watch the slimes burn themselves up in here and suffer. Is that evil? That sounds a bit evil, doesn't it? That's not what I meant. But slimes hurt you too, so is it evil? It may still be evil. The thing I really want to do, most importantly, is big cleanup, right? Because somewhere like this, I'm mostly done with this build, if I'm honest. Maybe add some detail, maybe on the inside more so. The outside I'm kind of okay with. And really, I need to clean all this crap up as well. I've also got this old concrete maker that I had here when I was trying to just gather enough. Stupid door. Trying to gather enough resources, but I don't need this anymore. The blast chamber's up and running. We're all good to go. I was thinking about how I've spent a lot of time in my past few episodes in my mushroom island, right? Now, the reason for that is because at the moment there's not really much for me in other places. Now, the Nether I have a plan for is to... What the hell was that? I thought I saw something flying. Oh no, never mind. There's something on my screen. I have plans to do a nice big Nether hub, and the plan I have at the moment is to make a nice big Nether hub. I may make it on the roof, or I might go just underneath the roof, build it pretty much near the top, and then I'll create a big enough hole where I can transition up and down through the roof of the Nether and my the bottom of the Nether, so I can still travel through most of the Nether, especially when the update comes out. I'm assuming I'm going to want to spend a bit more time around here anyway. I was also thinking a lot about my quad witch farm. I set these up real quick and real rough and tough, as you can see from the terrible wiring I've got going on. But what we're planning on doing is maybe making 4 witches. I'm going to do 4 witch statues / whatever you want to call them, and maybe populate the area to maybe have, like, you see how over here we have like this natural swamp biome, maybe a non-spawnable version of this, kind of covering the whole thing, so it still looks like it's a part of the swamp biome, and the witches are kind of like these giant witches inside of the swamp biome. I make it a giant swamp biome, like around here. It's just a thought at the moment, but if you guys have any suggestions, does that sound cool? Let me know. And you know me, I'm all about the time lapses and the replay mod, so I'm gonna make sure you guys have some good eye candy through all of it. Oh, you know, you may start realizing that I'm actually terrible at playing survival. I've died so many times in this game already. How many times already? Let me have a look. I never really know how to use the statistics, so I'm gonna have a quick look and let's see if we can find it. I think Mojang have already addressed this issue in 1.16, but when you look at these statistics, one of the reasons why I never really bother using them is they're in such a mess, right? Like, it's in no particular order. There's literally no order to the chaos that they have going on here. So I did find number of deaths. So already, in my world, I'm on 46 deaths. I did take quite a few risks in some cases, like especially when I was building the witch farms. You do end up spending a lot of time dying because you're spending time with mobs that are a little bit stronger, and you got to spend time with them, building around them, and they keep spawning. They always get in your way. So 46 deaths. Maybe a little bit understandable, but it's still quite a lot, right? I've only been playing this world for... Again, I'm going to have to go searching for it, so I'll be back once I figure it out. Okay, I found it. So, it is... where is it? Was there a second ago? Time played. Oh man, I just had it. Here we go. Time played. 11 days... 11.5 days. Alright? I don't know if that's definitely not Minecraft days, so that's real days. When you consider 11 days played, 46 deaths... I'm no pro, alright? I'm no staying alive pro. My thing is to build cool redstone stuff, alright? Oh yeah, I can't fly. My elytra's broken. So I went end busting quite a bit, maybe earlier on, when I think when I beat the Ender Dragon, I spent like a day going end busting and picked up all these elytras, and thank God for my villager trading farm, because now they all have mending, they all have unbreaking, and I just do a little switcheroo, and we're good to go. And then, because of the pigman farm, it makes like repairing a bunch of them together really easy. Although it's kind of easier to do that anyway. Maybe a little tip for anyone who's quite new and doesn't really know. Just make a bunch of stuff if you can, if you have the resources to do so. And just keep replacing the stuff you're using once you've got a whole bunch of broken items, or like mostly depleted items. Then go and take it to an XP farm and just do them all together. It's a lot less tedious that way. Alright, well, I'm going to go live on Twitch right now. So when I come back, I may do some recording today, or I may continue recording tomorrow. But when I do come back, you're going to see some changes. I'll run them by you. And we're going to start working on the storage system. We'll get the wood and stuff together maybe after the stream. And then we'll kind of, we'll get things sorted on that side at least. Because at the moment, my real issue stands at I have so much stuff, so many empty shulker boxes. It's becoming real messy. So let's get that sorted first. Alright, so we are back from the live stream, and it was, I would say it was pretty successful. So there was 2 things that I accomplished during that time. First of which was I made a flower farm, which is interesting because this was something that I said that I wasn't going to do for a while, but here I am. I just came to get a little bit more red dye, so I didn't really need the one from the flower farm. Kind of came included, but it's all good. So we're going to put that in there. It's quite noisy down here too, so we're going to get out. We're going to get out of here. We have all of the dyes that we need now. And I'm thinking, let's make all of the concrete we need to get the filters sorted. Once that's done, then... Oh, that was the other thing I did in the live stream, by the way. I did the filters for the TNT blast chamber, so now we can start producing everything and have it filtering in the right place. I'll show you that in 1 second. You know, whilst I'm just making filler items, I might as well have my last huzzah with this little handmade concrete maker. I'm only using this because it was like 1 stack to do, and running everything through the concrete maker kind of wastes that time anyway, so I'm just going to do a whole bunch of this by hand. Gonna fill up the filters, and I'm doing some absolutely stupid stuff here. Yeah, we're going to fill up all the rest of the filters, and then we'll kind of take it from there. I had a plan for how I'm going to set the storage up for this, and I think it should look cool, but we'll see. We'll see. So, what I've started doing here already, if I can get an ender pearl, is... Yeah, that's what happened. Alright, so I've started using, setting up the filler, the item sorter, sorry. So I'm gonna go, if we've got grey, so that's light grey, grey. We're gonna go 3 of these, 4 of these, and black concrete, white concrete in this one, do red, we can do orange, that's lime, blue, yellow, and green. Perfect, so that is all the concrete done. Now I just need to add the woods and the cobblestone, and then probably a miscellaneous one too. Alright, and I think we're going to end the episode there. It's been pretty productive. I actually did a lot more work in the TNT blast chamber area, and I didn't show my flower farm. So I'll save that for the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like, subscribe, you know, everything good. Thanks. Bye bye.